Okay, here we go. We have this lesson is on. This is an example of a percent of change. This problem is found on page 144. Remember, you should have your notebook out. And there's a couple of things that we're going to add to while you're taking notes. Things of like a title, the page. Don't forget the date when you took the notes. This particular problem, um, vocabulary, and anything that we're going to use, such as in this case these little equations here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what is a percent of change. Percent of change, that's our first vocabulary word, is anything that has a change. And sometimes our changes, especially with numbers, are dealing with an increase. That means it goes up. Or a decrease, that means it's going down. Okay, so when we have numbers that increase, whether it's money, in this case we're talking about gas prices, um, when it goes up we call that increase, when it goes down we have a decrease. And then we can find the percent of that. How much of a percent did it go up out of 100? Okay, or how far did it go down as a percent? Okay, so what we're going to use is we're going to find the percent of increase or the percent of decrease, and then we're going to place it over the amount of increase over the original amount. And with that fraction or ratio, we can find the percent. Okay, so that's our two percent of increase, percent of decrease. So our first problem is dealing with gas prices. It says find the percent of change in the cost of gasoline from 1970 to 2010. Round to the nearest whole number if necessary, or whole percent if necessary. Sorry. Okay, so we can look over here and we see that in 1970 our gas price was $1.30. In 2010 our gas price was $2.95. So we can see that the gas price went up, which is a percent of increase. So what we have to do is we have to find how much did the gas price rise, or how far was the increase. So what we're going to do to find that out is our for step one is to find the amount of increase. Well, how do I do that? Basically with subtraction. $2.95, and we're going to subtract $1.30. Okay, do that subtraction, you're going to find out that we're going to get $1.65. So our gas price from 1970 to 2010 increased by $1.65. Did I say something different? $1.65. Okay, so now step two, we're not done yet. Step two, because we're trying to find the percent, this is the number value that it went up. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the amount of increase, okay, and it increased $1.65, and we're going to go to the original amount, not the amount that it was in 2010, where it started from. And the original amount in this case was $1.30. Okay, so what you're going to do here is now you have your, this is going to equal our percent. Okay, from this part, what you're going to have to do now is you have to find the percent. So we're not there yet. So in order to do that, we're really just going to divide. So I'm going to set this up for you. It's going to be $1.65 divided by $1.30. So I'm going to help you some basics of division. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I am going to set it up for you. You're going to move that decimal over twice. So really, we're going to have 165 divided by 130. Okay, you're going to go ahead and do that division. And what you're going to find out is that the percent, you're going to get 1.27. You can see that it goes in one time. And our percent, to change this to a percent now, it's moving the decimal over twice, and we've increased our percent, or we increased our gas price by 127%. Okay, so you can see that if we increased it by 100%, that would be doubling $1.30. And if you double $1.30, you're going to get $2.60. But you can see that it's over $2.60. It's $2.95. So it went over 100%. So when you think of percents, if 100% increase, that would be $2.30. Or sorry, $2.60, and we went all the way to $2.95. So when we look back at this, our answer makes sense. And a lot of times in our problem, we want to make sure, does our answer make sense? So a couple of things that you have to remember. We always put the amount of increase over the original amount. When you divide, you have to move the decimals. And when you change your answer from a dollar amount to a percent, you have to move the decimal over twice to get your 127%. Okay, right now I'd like you to go to GoFormative and start with problem number 1.